Throughout the long sweep of human history, civilizations have risen and fallen, empires have come and gone, and generations have passed their hopes, fears, and dreams to those who follow. Yet, within the stories of every culture, in the writings of philosophers and sages, and in the simple wisdom passed from parent to child, there runs a thread, a collection of ancient truths that have stood the test of time. These truths, often simple in their phrasing, but profound in their impact, remind us of what it means to live a meaningful and fulfilling life. Consider for a moment the words inscribed at the entrance to the Temple of Apollo at Delphi, "Know thyself." This phrase, echoing across millennia, urges each of us to turn inward and embark on the lifelong journey of self-discovery. It is a powerful reminder that before we seek to change the world, we must first understand our own motivations, strengths, and weaknesses. In a world full of distractions and noise, taking time for honest self-reflection is a rare and valuable practice. When we truly know ourselves, our passions, our fears, our values, we can act with greater clarity, authenticity, and purpose. Another enduring lesson from the ancient world is the concept of balance, often symbolized by the yin and yang of Chinese philosophy. Life, the sages taught, is never static. Just as day follows night and summer yields to winter, our experiences ebb and flow. There will be times of joy and times of sorrow, seasons of abundance and periods of scarcity. The wisdom lies in embracing both, the light and the dark, as necessary parts of our growth. When we resist change or cling to fleeting happiness, we suffer. But when we accept the rhythms of life with grace, we find resilience and inner peace. From the Stoics of ancient Rome, we inherit the principle of focusing on what we can control and letting go of what we cannot. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher emperor, wrote in his private journals about the futility of worrying over things beyond our influence. Instead, he counseled, we should devote our energy to our own actions and attitudes. This wisdom is especially relevant today, when global events and constant connectivity can leave us feeling overwhelmed and powerless. By focusing on our own choices, how we respond, how we treat others, and how we care for ourselves, we reclaim a sense of agency and calm. The golden rule, do unto others as you would have them do unto you, appears in some form in nearly every major spiritual tradition. This simple yet profound directive urges compassion, empathy, and kindness as the foundation of all human relationships. In times of conflict or misunderstanding, it is easy to forget that every person we encounter is fighting their own battles, carrying their own burdens. When we practice compassion, we not only uplift others, we also cultivate a sense of connection and belonging that is essential to our own well-being. Ancient wisdom also teaches us to value the present moment. The Buddha taught that much of human suffering comes from dwelling on the past or worrying about the future. True contentment, he said, is found in the here and now. In a world that constantly pulls our attention away, from one notification to the next, from one obligation to another, learning to be present is a radical act. When we pause to truly listen, to savor a meal, to appreciate a sunrise, we reconnect with the richness of life. Gratitude is another timeless lesson. The Roman philosopher Seneca wrote, "Nothing is more honorable than a grateful heart." When we take time to notice and appreciate the gifts in our lives, no matter how small, we shift our mindset from scarcity to abundance. Gratitude softens the edges of hardship, brings joy to the mundane, and strengthens our relationships with others. It reminds us that, even in difficult times, there is always something to be thankful for. The ancients also understood the importance of community. In Aristotle's vision of the good life, human beings find fulfillment not in isolation, but in connection with others. We are social creatures, wired for belonging and cooperation. When we contribute to the well-being of our families, our neighborhoods, and our broader communities, we participate in something greater than ourselves. In giving, we receive. In helping others, we find meaning. Perseverance in the face of adversity is another lesson that echoes through the ages. From the epic tales of Homer to the teachings of the Bhagavad Gita, stories of courage and resilience remind us that life's greatest challenges often carry the seeds of our greatest growth. Difficulties are not punishments, but invitations to rise, adapt, and transform. When we view setbacks as opportunities for learning, we cultivate the strength to endure and the wisdom to thrive. Finally, ancient wisdom teaches humility. Socrates, one of the greatest philosophers of all time, famously declared, "I know that I know nothing." This recognition of our own limitations is not a cause for despair, but a call to continuous learning and openness. When we approach life with humility, we remain teachable, curious, and willing to grow. We recognize that every person we meet, regardless of age, background, or status, has something to teach us. In the rush of modern life, it is easy to overlook these powerful reminders from the past. We are bombarded by information, pressured to achieve, and tempted to compare ourselves to others. Yet when we pause and listen to the whispers of ancient wisdom, we find guidance that is as relevant today as it was thousands of years ago. These truths are not relics of a bygone era. They are living principles that can transform our lives, our relationships, and our world. So remember to know yourself. Embrace the ebb and flow of life. Focus on what you can control and let go of the rest. Practice compassion, live in the present, and cultivate gratitude. Seek community, persevere in adversity, and remain humble before the vastness of all that remains unknown. In doing so, you honor the wisdom of those who came before, and you create a brighter path for those who will follow.